The Peace Test. 5 questions that reveal whether your relationship is truly healthy. So guys, what if I told you that love isn't the best way to measure a relationship? You mean like what? Yeah, I'm going to explain all that to you guys. Many people stay in relationships based on the love they feel for someone, but love alone doesn't determine whether a relationship is healthy. And that's what we're talking about today, right? I know you guys want a healthy relationship. You want that healthy love in your life. So let's talk about that. So, as a psychology professor, I've learned that one of the greatest indicators of a healthy relationship isn't excitement. Here's his word again. It's actually peace. It's actually peace. Today, I'd like to give you what I call the peace test. Now, there are 5 questions that'll help you to evaluate whether your relationship is truly healthy. To get started, and I would love for you to pause this video to make sure that you have everything. You can use your phone, you can use a computer, whatever you want to use. But what I need for you to do, you're going to have one section that says the green flag and the other section that will say the red flag. And every time you see a green flag, you put a dot there. Or you can write down what it is we're talking about. And when there's a red flag, put it over there. And at the end, you're going to add those 2 up. And you'll see how healthy your relationship is. Okay? But I do want you guys to understand that healthy relationships are not perfect. There are no perfect relationships out there at all. Okay? Even though you may feel like, oh no, she's talking about my relationship is perfect. There may be some cracks somewhere here and there. They simply provide an environment where both people can grow. And that's what I'm trying to explain what a healthy relationship is. Let me give you guys a quote. A healthy relationship shouldn't constantly leave you emotionally exhausted. Now, I can go down a whole gamut of why that's not good for your mental health or your physical health, okay? Not at all. Yeah, it can cause a lot of problems. So you definitely want to be in a healthy relationship, okay? So this is what I do want to share with you also too. Research consistently shows emotional safety, is one of the strongest predictors of relationship satisfaction. So here's an explanation, right? When people feel emotionally safe, they are more likely to communicate honestly, resolve conflicts, trust one another, and remain connected, right? That's why you see some of these relationships lasting 40, 50, 60 years. My classmate told me the other day she and her husband been together for 40 years. I'm like, oh my God, you got married right out of high school, right? She's like, yep, they still together. Yeah, he was there with her too. So let's see how your relationship measures up. So this is where I want you guys to pause the video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you have some paper and a pen to write down the green flags, red flags, and have everything numbered. Lined paper, it would be great. But if you want to use like an Excel spreadsheet, it would be great. Or maybe Microsoft Word document or something of that nature where you can keep up with the green flags and the red flags, and you add them all up. And that's why I mentioned the Excel spreadsheet, because it can just add it up for you once you're done, right? So for each of these, you're going to put down one for a dot, for the green flag or the red flag. Here's the first question. Do you feel safe being your authentic self? Do you feel safe being your authentic self? So here's what you're looking for. Here's the first one. Can you disagree without fear? Write down your answer. Can you cry without fear of judgment, right? Can you admit mistakes without fear of backlash? Or can you express your opinions without fear. So those are the 4. You should have some categories, either all 4 or however you want it, but all of it should add up to 4 sections that you've you filled out so far, right? This is what I want you to understand. Love shouldn't require you to become someone else. Okay? So if you're like, oh God, I got to change my behavior around him or her because I know she's going to chastise me. And of course, too, if you're doing this test by yourself and you want to administer it to your partner, have them to do it later, or if you're doing it together, bravo to you guys. But yeah, just kind of because people will have different opinions about their relationship. It may not even match, and that's fine too. So here's the question number 2 for you. Number 2, does your relationship bring you more peace than anxiety? Peace over drama. Does it bring you more peace than anxiety? So healthy love should produce security, calm, and stability, not constant worry. So what I want you to think about, here are the questions I want you to answer. And to the best of your knowledge, like some of this stuff you may not even, it may not apply, but just kind of think about it. Here's the first one. Question number 5. Do you constantly wonder who they're texting? You're tempted to pick up that phone and see what's going on, right? Do you constantly do that? Now, it said constantly, so just kind of keep that in mind. Do you constantly wonder whether they'll leave you or not? Like you're worried that they're going to leave because you want to be in this relationship forever. Are you constantly worried about that? You feel like you're in a insecure or unsecure relationship, right? Think about that. And then the third, number 7, do you constantly wonder whether another argument is coming? Like you're always sitting on the edge of something. Like, I know there's going to be another argument sometime soon. Are you constantly worried about that? Because see, guys, what I want you guys to understand, just going to add those up for me. Well, put the dots there. You don't have to add it up yet, but you should have 7 dots somewhere now. Peace is a green flag, right? Constant anxiety is not. Constant anxiety is stress producing. And like I said, that can cause all kind of problems, right? So just kind of think about that. We're going to go on to question number 3 now. Can you solve problems without destroying each other? Right? So, are you able to discuss healthy conflicts? And here we are. Here are the things that you want to write down. Here's what you're going. Now, you're going to have a lot of them with this one. It will be 7, so you should be up to 14 after this, right? Are you actually paying attention to the person? Are you actively listening when they're talking to you? It doesn't even necessarily have to be something that you're arguing about, but let's say that you don't disagree. Are you actually listening to them? Or are you just like, okay, just get this over with? Are you willing to compromise? That's the second one, right? Do you actually respect them? Be honest with yourself. Are you willing to repair the relationship? Depending on what it is, if it has been severed some, are you willing to repair it? So, those were, if all of those were, or any of those were yes, they're green flags. If no, they're red flags. I'm going to flip it for you on this next one right here, okay? So this is where, if the answer is no, that's a green flag. These next 3 questions. If the answer is yes, it's a red flag, okay? When it's talking about, healthy conflicts, are you more so prone to insult your partner? Okay. If it's no, it's a green flag. If it's yes, it's a red flag. Do you employ the silent treatment during arguments? Again, too, on a continuous basis. Constantly you're like, oh, I shut it down. I'm going to bed right now. Talk to you later. If it's no, then that's a green flag. If it's yes, that's a red flag. Do you employ manipulation? This is all about you, right? If there's a no for manipulation, green flag, and yes, you do, it's a red flag. Keep in mind, guys, the goal isn't to win the argument. The goal is to understand each other. Because, see, sometimes, too, you may be arguing about something. You're using scanned information, or they may have scanned information, or both of you may have scanned information. But if you kind of keep your voices calm and just let's talk about why is it that you feel that way? Always talk about feelings. Why do you feel that way? Instead of saying you did this to me. Let's talk about that, okay? And you'll be amazed at what will be shared with you, right? So here's question number 4. I'm up to 4. I'm sorry. Are you becoming a better version of yourself since you've been with that person? Seriously, think about it. Are you a better version of yourself, right? Sometimes we tend to look at this question in a financial sense, and that's what I don't want you guys to do. Okay, just kind of look at it like if they bring some value to your life. That's what I want you to take a look at. Healthy relationships encourage confidence. Well, we're going to do this right here. Confidence, growth, dreams, and healing. So, do you experience confidence from your significant other? Green flag, yes. Red flag, no. Do they encourage you to grow and expand your horizons, right? Green flag, yes. Red flag, no. Do they encourage your dreams? Green flag, yes. And red flag, no. And do they promote healing? Like, are they nurturing to you at times? I give you an example. I have been working out a lot. I work out almost every day. I didn't go today. I went to visit my mom and dad's grave. So I drove down to Griffin. So I didn't have time to do it today, but I'll be back in the gym tomorrow. But yesterday, I think I pulled a muscle or hurt a muscle in my back, and I didn't know what he was doing. I told him that. He run upstairs like, why did he just disappear? He comes back down with an ice pack. I'm like, thank you so much. I wasn't even thinking about an ice pack. So that kind of stuff, like, I know that's physical healing, but anyway, emotional healing and stuff, do they promote that? So you got the green flag, yes, and the red flag if they do not. Now, here's the one we're going to reverse it, okay? We're going to reverse this. If the answer is no, it's going to be a green flag. If the answer is yes, it's going to be a red flag. So do they... they're always trying to make you feel smaller than you are. If it's no, green flag. Yes, red flag. If they employ some type of fear that make you feel fearful around them, you already know. Green flag, no. Red flag, yes. And do they promote insecurity around you? They don't trust you or anything like that. So green flag, no. Red flag, yes. The right relationship should help you bloom, not disappear. I gotta go. See you later. Yeah, I'm withering over here. You are not supporting me in this endeavor. And I need someone that can just allow me to be me, right? So here's the 5th question, guys. We made it to number 5. So the question, and this you got to think about a little bit, right? The others were actually stuff that's happening in your relationship, right? This one is actually more of a projection. So it taps into more so your emotional state when you are around him or her, right? So here's what I want you to think about. If nothing ever changed, would you be happy 5 years from now with this person? Just think about that. I want you guys to think about it. If you want to pause this video to think about that, please do. Right? So, do you see yourself with this person 5 years from now? Where do you see, what do you see yourself doing with this person if you're still with this person 5 years from now? Or are you trying to plan your exit strategy to get out of this relationship? So I want you to imagine the future is what I'm doing. And so if the answer is no, you don't see yourself with them in 5 years, that's your answer. That's your answer. I can't tell you guys what to do in your relationship. I would never do that, because here's the deal. So number 5 could be one of those things, if you see some of these red flags, but on your end that you haven't been as transparent as you probably could have been, right? If you're still able to communicate with this person, I'm just going to do it. You have to figure that out for yourself. I will not, and repeat, I will not encourage any of you to up and just leave your relationship based on what I just gave you. No, I don't want you to argue over it, but I do want you to try to take a look at your relationship, and where a lot of this stuff is more so sometimes a self-reflection, right? Like what are you doing to ignite some things? You have to look at that too. So here's what I do know, that healthy relationships should produce emotional safety, peace, respect, growth, and healthy communication. These 5 questions aren't meant to judge anyone. I'm not judging anyone. They're meant to help people become more intentional about the relationships they choose to nurture. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want to know from you, if you are willing to answer, which question made you stop and think the most about it? Or, you can just tell me which one do you think every person should ask before committing to a dedicated relationship. Those are the ones you probably should think about. Now, everybody has their different goals, especially at this age. You're probably seeking, if you're not in a relationship, probably seeking a relationship. Well, I guess like with anybody that will compliment you, somebody that you can enjoy enjoy time with, right? I don't want you to be going into any kind of relationship thinking, okay, I've been married before, or I've never been married, I need to get married, and I'm running out of time, so I need to marry the first person that is kind to me. Just think about that. Not saying that they wouldn't be the right person, but you have to be happy with that person as well, okay? So guys, here's the deal. If you're committed to building healthier relationships and a more peaceful life after the age of 50, I'd love for you to join our community by subscribing to the Iris Effect. And remember, peace isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you intentionally produce. Guys, that's the Iris Effect. Until next Sunday, guys, we are aging boldly.